আর এইদিকে কোনো রাস্তা আছে নাকি ওইদিকে যায়? Bengal does not have a recent memory of an encounter of this kind, and that too in the recent past.
এইরকম সমাজের কীট পতঙ্গগুলোকে কি করা উচিত আপনি দেখুন।
নমস্কার দাদা, এখানে কি প্রভাসের বাড়ি? কত দূর এখান থেকে? This is the house of Prabhas Mondal.
খুব বিরক্ত করছে, আমি একদম পাচ্ছি না। আমার এত বিরক্ত করছে, আমি একটাও কথা বলছি।
This is the Google map of the very area. The entire green patch is the guava orchard. এই বুধবার দিন আর গুলির আওয়াজ শুনতে পেয়েছিলেন আপনারা? আর বুধবার দিন কোনো আপনারা গুলির আওয়াজ শুনতে পেয়েছিলেন? Bengal does not have a recent memory of an encounter of this kind, and that too in the recent past. But then, last Wednesday morning, in the wee hours, something happened. An encounter happened. Encounter of one of the prime accused in the case of Baruipur gang and murder. Prabhas Mondal, one of the key accused, one who was first nabbed by the locals after they had successfully scanned the CCTV visuals of the entire locality to have found that he was the last person who was seen with the girl at around 4:44 on Saturday evening after the minor had left the home. And that's how Prabhas Mondal was handed over to police and the investigation found a direction. Prabhas Mondal had also been instrumental in identifying the spot from where the body of the minor was recovered, right? And he is the same person who had given out leads of other accused like Dibakar Sardar, Ananda Sardar, and also reportedly of Kabir Mullah. Prabhas Mondal was encountered in the wee hours of Wednesday morning as he was brought back to the place of occurrence, the place of crime, the spot of crime, for reconstruction of the crime as being claimed by police. According to police, Prabhas Mondal was brought to the spot post 12:45, that is past midnight, and then as he was brought here at the spot, he tried fleeing the spot. Apparently had also snatched away a service revolver from one of the officers and opened firing. And in retaliatory firing, Prabhas Mondal was gunned down. This is the Google map of the very area. The entire green patch is the guava orchard. In between, the wet patches are also visible. This only shows how empty the entire area is. You do not see a single house, any establishment, any concrete structure in the entire radius of say 200 meters or 300 meters across the guava orchard. As I said, the roads are barely there, all under mud, and because of incessant rains, the muddy roads have also become even more slippery. This is the only way out, and you cannot bypass the shallow muddy roads. It's very, very slippery, and I find it very tough balancing it out. And if you slip, you go straight into the water. All right. Yeah. রনি, let it be, ছেড়ে দে, আমি চলে আসবো। So in this entire green patch of area, this is the spot where the body was found, where Prabhas Mondal was taken on Wednesday early in the morning for reconstruction of crime. And the distance between the spot from where the body was recovered and the spot where his body fell after being hit by bullets is separated by barely 30 steps. So, in such a space, what really happened is a question bothering many. Prabhas Mondal is considered to be the key testimony in the entire investigation. He was the person who was first nabbed by locals and then handed over to police. And it was he who had given out names of Dibakar Sardar, Ananda Sardar, and reportedly Kobir Molla. In absence of him, does it really give any kind of an olive branch for Dibakar Sardar, Ananda Sardar, and Kobir Molla? We cannot dismiss the fact that while Prabhas Mondal was in police custody and he probably had given out some statement, but the law of the land says any statement given before police while in police custody will not be considered as a confession before the law, which means the confession coming before the magistrate or the judge will only be considered as a confession. Otherwise, any statement given before police has to be justified with corresponding evidence. And for cases of this kind, which relies heavily on circumstantial evidences and also on testimonies and also on witnesses and also on confessions, it is very, very imperative to ask, does the vacuum of Prabhas Mondal create any impediment in this investigation? Question number one. Question number two. When he was brought to the place of occurrence, what were the safety measures adopted by the police? How many police officers were there who had brought Prabhas Mondal, who is one of the key suspect, prime accused, and also considered to be very, very dangerous? He had sold off the girl, allegedly, for 10,000 rupees, right? From the change of hands started. And it was he who first sold off, allegedly, the minor for 10,000 rupees. To who? To Dibakar Sardar or Ananda Sardar? And whether he was also playing a very significant role in any kind of child trafficking racket which is now being suspected had mushroomed in and around Baruipur over the past several years, whether he had been a key person in that. And thus it's important to question, does his absence impair the investigation anyway? One. Two, as I was asking, when he was brought to the spot and place of occurrence, what kind of safety measures were adopted by police people? We have all seen in movies and also in visuals when an accused is brought to a court or from court taken to a police station. Many a times you have seen, if the accused is considered to be a dangerous person, then a rope is tied around the waist and the rope is held by police officers. It has been questioned by Human Rights Commission many a times. But why do police adopt such measures? Because they do not want to take a chance. They don't want an accused of this kind leaving the spot or escaping, right? Number one. Number two, in most of the cases you have seen, one officer would keep his hand handcuffed with the accused just to ensure that he does not manage to flee from the spot. So what are the kind of measures were adopted while dealing with someone as significant as Prabhas Mondal pertaining to this investigation and a case as serious as this one, as sensitive as this one? Number three, while there were more police officers than one Prabhas Mondal, under what circumstances Prabhas Mondal managed to first snatch a revolver and then managed to flee? So your service revolver will not always be ready to fire, right? So you first need to load the trigger. You need to unlock the trigger, right? So did Prabhas Mondal have such kind of knowledge as how to deal with a gun? Because if that is the case, that also makes it even more serious. A, he's a criminal. B, he has committed a crime. C, he also knows how to handle a gun. So under what circumstances he managed to snatch the service revolver and then open firing? He fired one round. That's what being claimed by police. In retaliatory firing, there were 2 rounds of firing and both had hit Prabhas Mondal. Now, Prabhas Mondal's autopsy report also begs the fourth question. What was the kind of distance between the police people and Prabhas Mondal as he was trying to flee and the officer had opened firing? Because if I am going that side, I leave my camera this side. If I am running this side, if I'm running away from the police, I'm sure the police people would also be running after me, right? So the distance cannot only zoom out, there is also a possibility of a chase. If Prabhas Mondal had managed to take that shallow road and run on that muddy road, I'm sure police wearing boots could also do so. So the distance between Prabhas Mondal and the officer who opened the fire is very, very crucial, because the autopsy report reveals that two bullets had passed through Prabhas Mondal's body from behind, and the location is one rib cage and towards here, right? Both above your waistline. So if the firing happened, uh, the firing happened as he was trying to run, and both hit his back, what was the distance? Because the autopsy report reveals the sharpness with which the bullets had passed through Prabhas Mondal's body, they indicate that they were possibly fired from a very close range. The standard operating procedure is, even in situations where police would open firing, you have to first target the area below your waistline, because the law does not allow police to kill someone at the first shot, even in encounter cases. So where there are attempts made to hit his leg, below the knee, any area which is below the waistline, where chances of his survival can still be alive, where the chances of survival stays, because once you fire above the waistline, the chances of survival almost dies. But here, both the bullets had hit way above the waistline of Prabhas Mondal. That's the fifth question. Under what circumstances police found it compelling to fire at a close range as being suspected basis of the autopsy report of Prabhas Mondal, and why on waistline and above, not below? Because going back to the same story, if Prabhas Mondal had been a serious offender, if Prabhas Mondal is a key accused in this very sensitive case, a case that has only shaken the conscience of people across the country, we are talking about a minor who was brutalized, who was ganged and then killed. Prabhas Mondal's encounter, does it impair the ongoing investigation by any means? What kind of statement he has given so far, were they before the magistrate, and were they ever video recorded? Also, if the bullets were fired from a close proximity, why did police not use that distance to their advantage and stick to the law and hit the cuff or thigh muscle or the hand and release the gun from his hand? Thus, it is very, very important we ask these questions. If the encounter had been above law, the government wouldn't have commissioned a CID probe. If the encounter had been above law and absolutely according to law, no doubt, there wouldn't have been any probe into the encounter. The very fact that the government is also following the procedure just to negate the chances of anything wrong, any foul play. Similarly, these questions are only being asked to ensure there has been no foul play, because we all want justice, fundamentally relying on truth and nothing but truth. Finally, the sixth question. There were 3 bullets fired, right? We are talking about an area which is here. And if I stay quiet, do you hear any sound? Any sound of any human life? No. You get to hear birds chirping, right? It's a quiet, quaint place. At night, it is simply not quiet, it is dead silent. So in a dead silent moment, which is way past midnight, 1 bullet from Prabhas Mondal and 2 retaliatory bullets from police side fired, and nobody heard any sound, While this side could be absolutely secluded, you have those houses over there. That's your railway station. They are houses, right? My sound is almost revving up every time I'm talking. There is a separate echo because this area is completely open and sound will travel faster and also further. We tried speaking to several people in and around this area. Strangely, nobody heard any sound of bullets, leave aside bullets, not even of a firecracker. Did police use a revolver with a silencer attached to its noose? এই বুধবার দিন আর গুলির আওয়াজ শুনতে পেয়েছিলেন আপনারা?
না ওটা ঠিক বলতে পারবো না।
Well, again, without casting any aspersion, these questions demand answer. Because while we all rely on this investigation for the truth to come out, we also want truth should also set a precedent so that tomorrow nobody fiddles with the law, gets away, and day after tomorrow somebody finds a chance to take out convicted rapists out on permission. এই দেখ এই ঢালাইয়ের রাস্তাটা, রাইট রাইট রাইট, এটাই হচ্ছে রাস্তা। এই রাস্তাটা বুধবার দিন কোনো গুলির আওয়াজ শুনতে পেয়েছিলেন? হ্যাঁ, মা নমস্কার, আমি একজন সাংবাদিক। বলছি এই ঘটনাটা ঘটেছিল ওইখানটায় না যেখানে মেরেছে, ওই যে বাচ্চা মেয়েটাকে? তো এটা এই রাস্তা দিয়ে যেতে হয় তো? কতটা দূরে এখান থেকে?
ওই যাদের বাড়ির ছেলে মেরে,
হ্যাঁ
ওই সামনে চলে যায়।
প্রভাস
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
প্রভাসের বাড়ি তো এই রাস্তাতেই। আচ্ছা, আর
যেতে পারে।
এইদিকে রাস্তাতে গিয়ে সোজা গিয়ে মন্দির পার হয়ে, আমি এই রাস্তাটা ছাড়বো না তো। আর বুধবার দিন কোনো আপনারা গুলির আওয়াজ শুনতে পেয়েছিলেন?
আমরা কিছু শুনি।
গুলির আওয়াজ শুনতে পান? নমস্কার দাদা, এখানে কি প্রভাসের বাড়ি? কত দূর এখান থেকে?
এই সামনে দরজা খোলা আছে।
If I let the bike go, I can literally hear my footsteps. It is that quiet. And now it is afternoon time. So in the afternoon when people are still active, if this area is so very silent, I mean, it is obvious at night this would be even more quieter. So how come no one heard the sound of bullets being fired? Didi? কোনটা বাড়ি? দিদি, এটা কি প্রভাসের বাড়ি? মা আছেন ওনার?
না, তো কথা বলতে পারবো না, আমার খুব মাথা যন্ত্রণা।
আপনি কি ওনার স্ত্রী?
হ্যাঁ,
আপনি ওনার স্ত্রী না মা?
ওনার স্ত্রী ইয়েতে গেছে। ওনার স্ত্রী ওদের নেই।
কথা বলতে হবে না মা, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই,
ওনার স্ত্রী হচ্ছে
কোনো অসুবিধা নেই।
ডেথ সার্টিফিকেট।
আমি জানি আপনাকে সবাই খুব বিরক্ত করছে।
খুব বিরক্ত করছে, আমি একদম পাচ্ছি না। আমার এত বিরক্ত করছে, আমি একটাও কথা বলবো না।
না, বলতে হবে না মা। আচ্ছা মা, ঠিক আছে, আপনি বিশ্রাম করুন। This is the house of Prabhas Mondal, one who was encountered by police in the wee hours of Wednesday morning. The mother is inside. The wife of Prabhas Mondal, she has gone out to collect the death certificate. The mother is unwilling to speak. Now, this is Tatipara, okay? And this road somehow can take you closest to that shallow, mushy wetland area from where the body of the miner was recovered, and also the spot where Prabhas was gunned down eventually. The mother is unwilling to speak. At the same time, she is saying she did not hear any sound of bullets. This is Prabhas Mondal's house. Many are saying that the mother and the wife, they have been socially ostracized, as always is the case. Somebody commits the crime, and somebody else pays the penance. They are saying they are not at fault. And why should? They pay the price for a crime they have not committed. দাদা রাস্তাটা কোথায় শেষ হয়ে যাচ্ছে? হ্যাঁ মানে এখানেই রাস্তা শেষ। হ্যাঁ তো রেল লাইন দিয়ে উঠে ওই দিক দিয়ে যেমন সবাই নেমে যাচ্ছে, কিন্তু জনবসতি এলাকা এটাই শেষ। এরপরে আপনাদের এই পুরো বাগান মারাটা হয়েছে। তো পুলিশ কি সেদিনকে কোনোভাবে এই রাস্তাটা নিয়েছিল রাত্রেবেলা?
সেটা আমরা জানি না।
দিদি এখান দিয়ে পুলিশ রাত্রেবেলা যাতায়াত করেছিল সেদিনকে? না এই রাস্তাটা নেওয়া যায় না? এই রাস্তাটা নেওয়া যায় না,
পুলিশ ডিউটি ছিল
উপর দিয়ে এদিক দিয়ে যায়নি তো। আর সেদিনকে বুধবার দিন কোনো গুলির আওয়াজ শুনতে পেয়েছিলেন? হ্যাঁ
ঘরের পিছন থেকে গিয়েছে।
আপনাদের এই বাড়ির পিছন থেকে গেছে প্রভাসকে নিয়ে?
যা বলতে ওটা বলতে পারবো না, রাতে নিয়ে গেছে ওটা বলতে পারবো না। পুলিশ কখন নিয়ে গেছে ওকে সেটা বলতে পারবো না, কিন্তু সকাল সারাদিন পুলিশ গিয়েছে, আপনার হচ্ছে রিপোর্টার গিয়েছে, পিছন থেকেই গিয়েছে।
মানে এই দিক দিয়ে না ওই রেল পারের ওইটা দিয়ে
গিয়েছে, আবার আমাদের ঘরের পিছন দিয়েও গিয়েছে।
আপনার ঘরের পিছন দিয়ে যাওয়া যায়? ওখানে কি রাস্তা আছে না ওটাও কাদা রাস্তা?
ওটা কাদা রাস্তা, একেবারে শুকনো রাস্তা নয়, অনেকটা কাদা রাস্তা আছে।
তো মঙ্গলবার দিন রাত্রে পুলিশের মুভমেন্টের কোনো আওয়াজ শুনতে পেয়েছেন?
কিছু শুনতে পাইনি স্যার, আমাদের ঘরে পাকা চলে তো, সব লাইট ফাইট মানে অফ করা, লাইট জানালা দরজা দেওয়া, পাকা চলছিল তো, কিছুই শুনতে পাইনি, আমরা কিছুই জানি না। সকালবেলা উঠে শুনছি এরকম
গুলির আওয়াজ,
কিছুই শুনতে পাইনি।
আপনাদের কি ছাদ আছে? আপনাদের উপরে ছাদ আছে? যাওয়া যাবে 1 মিনিটের জন্য? We have come on the rooftop of one of the last houses in this locality just to give you a panoramic view and a sense of the area as where I'm standing and how close it is from the spot where Prabhas Mondal was encountered. Technically the same area where the little minor was also brutally killed and dumped. This is the last house. In fact, this, that, or couple of houses here form the last locality, and beyond that, beyond this row of the houses, you have shallow wetland, and wetland. The entire stretch of green that you see on Google Map is what we are seeing from this rooftop. You have ponds, you have lakes, you have wetlands, you have guava orchard, you have this orchard, that orchard. It's quiet. It's absolutely peaceful. And in this entire radius beyond this, there is no other interference for any sound to travel. I mean, if something happens there and someone screams, the sound will not seek permission from a mobile tower, or the sound will not seek permission from a honking bus or a honking truck to wade through and reach to this neighborhood. Yet, the sound of bullet did not reach this neighborhood, which is the closest to the place of occurrence. Everyone I've spoken with, they are saying they have not heard anything post midnight on Tuesday, early in Wednesday morning, or in the wee hours. They're all saying they were probably sleeping, or the fan was running, which itself would make its own sound, and thus they are not doubting as why the sound has not really reached. But think about it. Even if the fan is running inside your room, will the sound of a cracker or a firecracker travel inside the room or not? If yes, then how come not 1 or 2, 3 bullets were fired, one from the side of Prabhas Mondal, 2 in retaliation, yet not a single bullet that was fired created that much sound that it will travel and reach up till here. We are not questioning the encounter, we are not casting aspersions, we are only seeking answers, and probably police can clarify what really happened and how it happened. Along with video journalist Ronnie Shatra here in Baruipur, and along with Titash Mukherjee, This is Tamal Shah for News the Truth. NTT. Questions will be asked.